one thing that brings most players back to Animal Crossing, even after years of playing, is the joy of decorating and redecorating your island with new and fun builds. You can get an endless amount of inspiration by visiting other islands, watching build videos and browsing Pinterest. But after a while, you will notice that certain furniture gets used all the time, while other items never make an appearance. I have put together a list of a few underrated items, which you have probably never seen in a build before. To make it less random, all of these items are based around food and would look great in food-related builds, like restaurants or grocery stores. Imperial Pot. When I first found this DIY on the beach, I was disappointed. Why would I ever need an empty pot? It wasn't just empty, it was also too big to use for anything. So I ignored it completely until I saw the potential this pot actually has. We have a total of 7 variants. I'm showing all of the variants at Cyrus, so we can see all of the available ones. Mapo tofu looks like a spicy dish, maybe something you serve on a wintry island to warm up your villagers. Egg and tomato dish could be a great addition if you have a breakfast corner, maybe in a hotel or something. Fried rice doesn't look all that interesting, but it could look great in a restaurant or if you put it on a table among other side dish options. Next are the stir-fried peppers. It looks steamy and colorful. Then we have the babaokai. Babaokai. I've never heard about this seafood dish, but I think it's my favorite here. There are a lot of textures and ingredients and it would look awesome in a seafood restaurant or a stand on the beach. Lastly, we have the shrimp in chili sauce. Looks just like the name suggests. Great option. The Imperial Pot would go great in any type of restaurant build. Food truck, buffets, maybe even for a little camping station where you make enough food to feed all of your villagers. Frying pan. Similar to the pot before, this DIY seemed useless when I found it. There are a lot of recipes that you can make where a pan is included. They look so much more appealing than just an empty pan. But let's check out the options we actually have here. Veggie saute. Looks just like the stir-fried peppers option for the Imperial Pot to me. I think they would look great together. Pasta. A saucy, steamy carbonara. Easily my favorite variant. You could pair that with the carbonara dish item that we have and make it part of a whole pasta restaurant or an Italian restaurant. Next we have the ratatouille. Could be a fun idea to put it into a mouse villager's home in reference to the Disney movie. I don't know if I would instantly recognize it as a ratatouille. Looks more like a shakshuka to me, which would go great into the breakfast food corner we mentioned before. Then we have the pizza in the pan. Doesn't look like pizza to me at all. I think it looks more like an omelette. Again, a breakfast food. Lastly, we have the failed attempt. I love the level of detail you can see. You can see that the steam is changing. Now it looks more like smoke of a burnt meal, and it's very versatile. As said before, any restaurant build could use this item. The burnt pan could go great in a cooking show type of build, or a cooking course where some villagers were rather unlucky. Recycled can thumb piano. Be honest, have you actually used the thumb piano? Maybe you used it with other instruments to make a build, or clicked on it a couple of times, but got bored rather quick, right? Now you might be wondering why I'm even talking about this. It's an instrument. When I announced earlier that these items are all about food, why would I choose an instrument here? Honestly, I was flabbergasted when I saw the variant on this item. An item you can craft from an old dirty can you fish out of the ocean. Every variant option transforms this piano into canned food. First we have the canned olives. Could go great in any store, restaurant or pizza shop if you like olives on your pizza. Next we have the canned fruit. Again, could go great in any store or storage build, maybe in the kitchen or in the pantry. If your main fruit is oranges, then you could also use them in a souvenir shop on your island. Could look awesome beside some orange trees. Then we have the canned fish. Same as before, can be used as decoration in any store or restaurant or just to stock up your pantry. And here comes my personal favorite. The canned pasta sauce. Looks awesome. You could even put it in the back of your pasta restaurant, creating some island gossip that the lazy villager that works at the pasta restaurant is too lazy to make the sauce from scratch and is hiding the cans in the back. The possibilities are endless. Lastly, we have the canned pet food. Well, it has a cat on it, so I think it's cat food rather than pet food. Putting them in the home of a cat villager could be fun. Smoker. Here comes the first item that is not a DIY, but just a regular item that you will come across while playing. I think I got mine from the balloon, but you should also be able to find it in the Nook store from time to time. And wow, as soon as I got it, I was unimpressed. Chucked it into my storage and never looked at it again. All this time having absolutely no clue that you can actually open the smoker and see what's inside. It contains sausages, a chunk of cheese, and what looks like a ham on the right. I think this would be perfect for any butcher shop builds or grocery stores, even restaurants. The smoke gives it a nice effect and makes it look real and functional. I'm a little sad that the different variants don't offer different items inside the smoker, but I still think this item is awesome and should not get overlooked. Chafing dish. The chafing dish has great variants as well. While it looks empty and sad by default, the options are amazing. First, the caprese salad, definitely my favorite. Love the detail of the oil and the basilicum leaves and the texture of the tomatoes. Looks really good. Next we have the cold entree with sauce. Just looking at it I know exactly what it tastes like. A cold and dry piece of meat with some sauce on top. A classic. Then we have the terrine. Honestly, I personally can't eat that. I don't find it appealing at all, but for what it is, the game did recreate it very well. I love the broccoli detail right there. The next one is tteokbokki, if I pronounced that right. I never heard about that one before. Seems to be a dish of Korean rice cakes. I think the texture could be more detailed here. Not my favorite. Then we have a variant simply called penne, which explains the shape of the pasta, but the rest is a little odd. It looks like it has a pesto sauce, but what about these things on top? They look like dumplings. Weird. Lastly, we have pilaf, which is another rice dish. I could imagine using this at a cafeteria. If you have a school or university build, this could complement it nicely, giving the students a lot of variety to choose from. And since we are in June now, I think you could also use the chafing dish for a wedding build by building a buffet station for the wedding guests, or any other type of party or celebration could work as well. The glass jar. This item isn't as unknown as the others, but I love the variants and I want to talk about it. First, we do have different label options, which is a nice touch. But now to the contents. Salt. It can be used in any kitchen, it can be used in a bakery since it looks like flour. You could even act like it's detergent and put it on top of a washing machine. Pasta. Now we have so many pasta options. I need someone to make a pasta build with a lazy villager that can't cook and send it to me. But honestly, this one is not my favorite. The pasta looks a little weird to me. The texture could definitely be better. Then we have the nuts. Also not my favorite, but it could be a cute idea to use them in the pantry. Maybe make a pantry full of them for a squirrel villager prepping for the long winter. Coffee beans obviously go great in any coffee shop build. Or maybe even in a flower shop. You can act like that special dirt to propagate plants. The fruit syrup is very questionable in my opinion. I think it looks like moldy pears, super weird consistency, but yeah, it could be fun if you have a pear island. The cookies look great, they look delicious. Great for any builds, maybe even in a snack corner, or if you make an outside movie theater and put them besides the popcorn. Some other uses could be in a bakery or a farmer's market selling homemade cookies. Then we have the marshmallow. Not my favorite either. Looks a little like chewing gum to me or some kind of medicine. I'm a little sad that they are not completely white. Then you could use them like cotton swabs in a bathroom or beauty salon. But yeah. Last but not least, we do have my favorite option, the yarn option. Pop this on a side table besides a rocking chair and it would look awesome. Or maybe on a table for a flea market. Now that we have looked at the variants, I also want to show you how they look like when you place them on your island. For this purpose, I have placed my favorite variants. Here we have the frying pan options, the smoker in the back and the imperial pot and the chafing dish. But first, a short villager break. Now back to business. Here we have some jars and a thumb pianos and you can see the size of the item. It's quite big, but I think it looks good. This sums up the underrated items for this video. Let me know if I was able to surprise you with an item you never used before. Maybe this video even motivated you to try out a new build. Let me know in the comments below. I could talk about Animal Crossing all day, and I have a lot more ideas and items I want to talk about in the future. So let me know if you would like me to make a part 2 and get into some more underrated items. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.